Good morning, welcome to a day in the life of a 1950s housewife. I didn't have a very good night last night with Jamie, so I didn't prepare my hair or anything, so we're going to be completely winging it, and I'm going to have to see if I can get some kind of a style with this. It is 8 o'clock, it is a little bit later than I would want it to be, but job number one. Get up, open all the curtains and start on breakfast. Literally, I've gone for my everyday and there's nothing unusual about my hair today. It's how I wear my hair pretty much every day. So I've thrown the covers back on my quilt on my bed to air the bed out, and I will be making it up a little bit later on. Jamie isn't waking up, so I'm going to have a bit of a job with him this morning, but we are going to plod on. Come on, let's turn this day around. Think happy thoughts, let that be light. Okay, so I downloaded the 1950s housewife routine from the internet. So I throw back the covers, job number one, open up the blinds and windows, done. Freshen up, I've done. Make and serve breakfast. And then it says, after that, complete a 10-minute exercise regime, shower, do hair and makeup and get dressed. So I'm not going to be able to do any of this in order. Cup of coffee. Not exactly 1950s. But it's breakfast. I am just going to cheat and use the Tassimo. I know I've not done very well. I do have a French press that I bought, and I have got ground coffee, so I can make a proper coffee when I get back from the school. Because it's quite cold and rainy outside today, I'm going to keep my leggings on. I don't own any tights or stockings or anything at all because I really don't like the way it feels on my feet. So I don't think if I was in the 1950s that I would have used them. Get out of here, let me get dressed. I think most of today is going to be adjusting camera angles. I got my dress, I got my petticoat, I still got my leggings on underneath because it is a cold and rainy day. I haven't shaved my legs. So Jamie does know about the 1950s housewife routine. I did show him yesterday. We are quite big fans of a lady on YouTube as well called Lacey Faye. She kind of lives a whole life as a vintage housewife, and Jamie said yesterday, told Jamie what I was doing today, and he's like, how do you know what to do? So I showed him my list. So he read through it, and he literally read through every single item. So once he's up and about, I'm sure he is going to be checklisting me. I did turn the internet off on my phone last night, so it was a bit odd not getting up and checking Facebook. I will be using Alexa to play some 1950s music. Reason being is if I was in the
station all 50s on Amazon Music.
Because if I was in the 1950s, I would have most probably had a wireless or a record player. Obviously it is 2020, so we don't have that kind of thing anymore. We have Alexas. No, do you know what? She never listens to me. Never listens to me, and then when I don't want her to play, she plays. We'll be using YouTube. Only for doing a vintage workout, because I found, I can't remember his name now, but he used to have a 1950s exercise regime that used to be on the telly over in America and over in the UK, but I thought 1950s a theme, so I'm going to pop that on because it would have been on 1950s TV anyway, so I think I'm allowed that. So I'm going to put that on to do my little exercise regime. I might put a little bit of I Love Lucy on because I've never actually watched I Love Lucy, a full episode. I've seen like clips and everything, so I might watch some I Love Lucy, but that's going to be the extent of modern technology, and that's only because these kind of things would be readily available in the 1950s, which aren't today, so it has to be a bit of YouTube. Ooh. It's so puffy. I'm like sitting and sliding. I have to try and sit my way really high up. I'm just going to have a Weetabix. Do you want the Weetos or do you want something else? Do you want shreddies?
I said I don't want any.
You don't want any food?
No.
Okay. You want to drink some orange juice? You taking your meds like a good boy? I'm sure you don't want anything to eat.
It's too cold in down here.
Well, we'll be in the car in a minute, nice and warm, with the heated seats. Not exactly 1950s.
We can't use heated seats then.
Okay, so no heated seats and no heated steering wheel.
No air conditioning.
No air conditioning. We'll have to open the windows. And being all 1950s, eat me cereal like this when all I want to do is that.
Oh no!
You're stuck.
Yeah, I'm stuck. Oh, thanks, man.
See, a 1950s child would sit up and be well behaved. Want to sit up?
I can't. I'm actually stuck.
Okay, so today I hadn't gone too much as I'd planned. Got a French press. I'm just going to have a cup of coffee, pull my thoughts and pull myself together, and then we're going to crack on with the rest of the list. That morning wasn't quite what I wanted it to be. It is like about 10:30 now. That I bought a while ago, and it's the first time I've ever used it because I normally just use the Tassimo. So I bought some coffee the other day for when I did this video. I kind of just planned yesterday, because I've been wanting to do this video for about a year now, since I saw some, I think it was a lady called, a young girl called Sweet Emmeline. She did it, and then I've noticed a few other people have been doing it, so I wanted to have a go at doing it. Obviously mine's going to be a little bit different because I do have a son with ADHD and autism, and at the moment he is being very, very difficult. So hence this morning we've took him like 2 hours to wake up and get him to school. We did oversleep because he didn't sleep last night, but tonight should be a better night because he hasn't had much sleep. So I'm just going to have a cup of coffee, rejig all my thoughts, and then
Sing along with me. 1, and 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, and up and down, and 1, 2, 3. That's the way. The other leg. Now let's go. It's good for the thigh and the bicycle gymnastics. Come on now. Good. And push and push and push and push and push and push. 4, up and down and up, round and round and round and round. The left leg doesn't work as well as the right, does it? Round and retreat and 4, reverse. 1, 2. Next up. Round, reverse. Around and round and round and 2. Opposite ways. 2 and 3. Round and round and round and round.
as you can see, I was millennial housewife yesterday, so Dishes were left to dry on the draining board, and I've got dishes from last night as well. So do breakfast dishes, tidy up the kitchen, and then get on with the rest of the house. We don't want to be getting our pretty dresses dirty, do we? So almost forgot. Feed the bunny. Do you want some breakfast? I am actually gonna leave those there to dry. Very millennial of me, I know. I'm just gonna leave them there to dry while I do my makeup. Oh, missed one. So in the 1950s, makeup would be a little bit simpler, so I'm just going to be doing my eyebrows, a tiny bit of eyeliner, some mascara, nice red lip, some face powder, and just a little bit of blush. Oh, I don't actually think I'm going to do any blush because I've got quite a natural blush anyway. Okay, so dishes are put away, got some makeup on, starting to get there. Next job is to grab a basket and start tidying up the downstairs. So I'm just going to use this to collect up a bit of rubbish. Looking around, I'm not going to give upstairs a light dust because it needs a good polishing. So as part of my weekly chores, I'm going to do that. Okay, just pausing for a second to see where I'm up to. Catching up, I just charged my phone a little bit. I thought I'm charging my bedroom so you wouldn't have seen the rest of what I did. So give Jamie's room a once over, give it a tidy. I did the bathroom while I was up there. I cleaned off the basin. I actually, with an antibacterial wipe, I know it's not 1950s, but I need to make sure that my toilet is cleaner. So give the toilet a wipe, the sink a wipe. I need to do my downstairs one, change the towels and give the shower and bath area a bit of a daily spray over as well. So put some washing down things. So I'm just going to have a look on the list to see where I'm up to. I'm done with that first page. I'm going to pop it on there. Okay, so before I review the menu, I'm going to pop some towels and dishcloths in the wash because they need doing, and I'm just going to give the downstairs bathroom a quick once over and change the towel. Down kitchen surfaces, including inside the fridge. I actually wiped down the surfaces when I did the dishes earlier, so I'm not going to do that. So I need to give the inside of the fridge a quick wipe, which it does need doing, because I know that there's an orange juice spill in there. Done. Replacing the towels. Mom's going. That was my mum on the phone. Just had a little chat with her. The next jobs to do is the meal planning, see what I've got in the kitchen, what I need to do for the week, prepping the dessert, I'm not going to prep a dessert. I've decided that I'm not doing that. Reason being is I've got cakes and all that kind of stuff already in the house. So if I was a genuine 1950s housewife, if I'd already had cakes and things like that in the house, I would have used them rather than making a whole fresh anyway. So I'm not going to be doing that. I am going to have to pop out to the shop because I've just realised that my son has run out of things to drink. He's a bit fussy, so I need to go to the shop and buy him some new drinks in my vintage housewife outfit, which is going to be funny. A few comments I've had already. My neighbour kind of looked at me and asked me why I was wearing that. I was like, because I'm doing a video. The woman at the school, she just said, oh, you're looking very pretty. And so I was a bit like, oh, okay. Just this. Oh, I wear this all the time. I'm going to go off to wash my floors, mop my floors. So when I'm up the downstairs, I'm going to quickly do the downstairs toilet, and I'm going to do the upstairs toilet as well, and then I'm going to pop to the shops. So I will catch up with you a little bit later on. Okay, that's not going according to plan. I've just broken my mop. It's not supposed to do that. This is what you get for having a modern mop. It wasn't an expensive one. I'll have to definitely upgrade, but I'm literally cannot do my floors. I can kind of just like, I can't give them a good scrub. I can like kind of glide over them. But that's about it. That's all, folks, with the mopping. The next job on the list is to do errands and then have a lunch after that. But I am pretty hungry because I didn't really have much for breakfast this morning. I only had a Weetabix. Hey, Jamie gets out of school at 2:30 and it's 1:45. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a quick lunch now and then get a bit of shopping and then pick them up, save me having to go in and out a few times. So I'm probably just going to have a sandwich, probably make myself a quick cuppa. About 1 o'clock go out and get a little bit of shopping, just drinks, and have a look for a new mop. Just having some coffee that was left over in the pot before I put it under a tea cozy, which is, the reason I'm doing that is because it's actually an old hat, so it's kept it a little bit warm. It's not too warm, but it's okay to drink. I'm just going to have just a quick ham sandwich, listen to a little bit of music, and then put my shoes on and go to the shops and go and get Satan from school. Did I say Satan? I mean Jamie. So I got my shopping done quicker than was expecting. It is only 1:30. There is another hour before I need to go and pick Jamie up from school. My head is literally all over the place, and I'm just thinking that I'm glad that I do live in the age that I do in some ways, because if the tea's not on the table, then it sucks to be you. Okay, I just pulled up onto my drive. Somebody got in the car next to me and was sat there, so I didn't want to look stupid more than what I already am at the moment. I think there's kind of like a rush and an urgency, which I wouldn't have in a normal day, because, I mean, if I didn't have the tea on the table at a certain time, or if I didn't dust, it wouldn't be like the end of the world. But I think with the likes of in the 1950s to now, with regards to dusting every day, we have polishers nowadays that have a lot of like anti-static and things to stop dust actually sticking to your furniture. So dusting every day, and obviously with the microfiber cloths as well, it's not something that I particularly think needs doing every day. I had a massive, like, my head is up my backside at the moment as it is. So I'm constantly thinking of what I need to do, what I've got to do next, what I've got to do next. And I actually stepped out in front of a car in the car park before. He was going a bit too fast for a car park, but I actually nearly got hit by a car, which I was actually feeling a bit self-conscious and everything as it was. It would have been like petticoats at dawn. So that was a tad bit embarrassing. It did get the adrenaline going. I had an anxiety attack in the shops, so that's why I didn't dawdle around. I kind of just went in and got what I got. So I've just got a fresh loaf of bread, I got some drinks to put in the fridge for Jamie, and I got myself a new mop. It's only 1:45 now, so I've just come home. I'm just going to put this shopping away and see what else is on the list. I want to give up. I really, really do. So my heart is like fluttering, so I don't have great mental health as it is at the moment, so I just need to chill the F out. Calm. I'm stressed out doing this. I just want to get a cuppa and sit in front of the TV. I want to put Netflix on. It also doesn't help that whenever I pull onto my drive, even though I've turned the Wi-Fi and everything, all the internet off on my phone, as soon as I pull up onto the drive, the Wi-Fi still tries to connect, and then I get like messages and blings from the real world. So I'm having to quickly turn everything off again, try not to look and check what I've been sent videos and things like that. So I'll be look forward to getting back into the real world tomorrow for that. But a lot of the things I don't miss. It's like not many people actually have my phone number. Nobody's got my house phone number. That's why I'm actually still taking calls on my mobile. Because mobile, telephone. Because nobody would be able to get in touch with me otherwise. Nobody has my house phone number. That is my secret. I can't see who's calling on the house phone. So I think next time, if to do this again, I probably will give people, obviously, who I actually want to call me, my house phone number. Because it was a bit short notice doing it this time. I'm thinking about on a good mental health day, the list of what to do, it would be everything, that pretty much everything on the list would be something I would do on a good mental health day. I would kind of like blitz the whole house, but as an everyday thing, I think I would crack up if I was to do this every day. I will try again and do this. I think I'll go for maybe a 48-hour next time. It is nice wearing this dress, but I kind of just want to take it off now and kind of just slob about. Because normally once I'll do a bit of housework, I will go and get like any shopping that I need to do. I'll pick Jamie up and then I would kind of slob about and then probably just bung chicken nuggets in the oven. So the fact that I think I'm stressing, the fact is I've still got a lot more to do. Whereas by now I would have hung up me bandana. So I think that's kind of like stressing me out a little bit as well. But anyhows, it's 10 to now, so I'm going to go and put these drinks in the fridge. So Jamie's got a nice cold drink to come home to. Have a look what's left on the list. And maybe start on peeling some potatoes and stuff before I go and pick them up. So off we go. The washing has finished, so I'm going to pop that in the dryer. Normally I do put things on the maiden to dry, but it is towels and things like that, so I find if they put them like on the maiden and things like that, or outside, they go hard, whereas I like my towels nice and fluffy. Very 1950s, I know. But can't be as good as anything. I can't do it all myself. So I was actually talking to my mum about, on the phone before, about doing the 1950s housewife, following the little routine. And she said, you have to get yourself a mangle. You need to do your washing in the sink with a scrub board, and then put it through a mangle, which is like two wooden rollers, like thin together. So you would use the washboard to scrub your clothes, and then you'd put them through the mangle to cut. So what it did is it wrung the clothes out. It would be fun actually if I'll have to see if I could try and get hold of one at some point, to see if at one point. But in the as I said, say to my mum, in the 1950s there would have been washing machines. They wouldn't have been the washing machines that we have today, but there would have been some early invention of a washing machine. I've chopped up about 4 carrots, an onion, and I'm just popping in some mint. I've put in about 1 litre of water. When I tend to cook with mince like bologneses, and probably a little bit too much water to be fair, it takes a while. When I cook like bologneses and minces and chilies and things like that, I don't actually tend to go off a recipe. I kind of just like bung everything in and just adjust flake to taste. So I'm just putting in 2 stock cubes for now. I might add a bit more later, depending on what it tastes like. I've only got 2 oxo cubes left, so if I need to add any more, like a beef stock, I'll probably add maybe a bit of Marmite or a bit of bovril to it. My eyes are starting to water because of the onions. Dinner is all prepped. I'm just going to have a cup of tea just to recharge a little bit because I'm getting a little bit tired now. It's quite funny, I'm actually tempted to phone somebody to talk to someone. I don't normally feel like that. It's strange because I think housewives must get so lonely, especially if they haven't got like neighbours that they can like talk to and things. I'm actually feeling a little bit lonely today. It's a bit funny. Because normally I can scroll through Facebook, social media. It's where you can be like antisocially social, so you can see what everybody's doing. It's so easy to stay connected, even without picking up the phone. But I'm actually quite tempted to pick up the phone and chat to somebody, which is really unusual. I normally like watching TV and things like that as well. So I think it's the quiet starting to get to me a little bit. While that is coming up to the boil, it says arrange the living room for evening enjoyments, such as the Mister's newspaper. I'm not going to do that. In fact, I might get a book out. I'm going to watch an episode of I Love Lucy, I think. Enjoy an evening of relaxation. So my evening of relaxation, I think, is going to be have a bath, wash my hair, shave my legs. So that is my evening plans. I probably will pick out a book. I'm currently doing a bit of research at the moment for a wartime housewife. So instead of a 1950s housewife, it'll be a wartime housewife, so it'll be a 1940s housewife. So I set a tray with cocktails to serve drinks before dinner. Okay, so as it's starting to boil, the fat will come to the surface. So you just skim the fat off. So rationing was still in effect in the UK in the early 50s. So the likes of what I'm doing here, skimming off, what they would actually do is save the fat. So everything got reused. So as you see, skimming off the fat there. They would keep hold of that and then use it for like frying, in gravies, in sauces. I think I made my point there. I won't continue to show you my fat. Okay, so that's boiling nicely now. I've just popped it down to simmer. I've left the lid off just so it will reduce a little bit. What I'm going to do is in about 20 minutes or so, see what it's like, give it a bit of a taste to see if it needs any extra salt, any extra like bovrils or anything else like that. And I'm also going to mix a little bit of flour and water together to thicken it up a little bit so it's more like a gravy. So off now to Hoover. Okay, I know it said mega drink for the mister, but tea is cooking. There's nothing on the list to do until after tea. So, chin chin, bottoms up. Okay, so I've just mixed some cold water and flour together to make a paste. I'm going to add that to my mince. Okay, so that is tea done. Callum hasn't come home and I don't know what he's doing. Jamie has decided he doesn't want this and has kicked off because I won't make him something else. So I'm going to sign off for a little while I eat my food and see if I can get Jamie to even try a little bit of this. So we've got mash, we've got a mince. For pudding I have got a marble Madeira cake, which I'm going to do with some custard. So I'll sign off for now because I'm sure he won't want me recording while he's eating anyway. So catch you in a little while. Okay, so a quick update of what has happened so far this evening. We've had a bit of another nightmare evening with Jamie. Yes, again, he seems to be getting worse and worse. He had a bit of a kick off anyway. But he finally settled down and he actually played some cards with me. He'd played a few games of cards. He got into another snit because he wasn't getting his own way again. And then he kind of like sulked off to his bedroom. But he's on the phone now to one of his friends, so he's all happy and giggly and smiley. So I've just had a lovely bath. I did manage to do the dishes. I haven't actually had a chance to put them away. I thought, well, Jamie was quiet, I'm jumping in the bath, and I literally just sat in there. Didn't wash my hair, but I kind of just sat in there for a while because I was like rocking backwards and forwards. But like, what am I gonna do? Anyways, we didn't have any dessert because I literally ended up eating my tea cold. Callum did come back. He had his tea as Jamie was settling down. We did put on the TV. I did put Sky News on just to see what Bojo had to say. Nothing interesting as usual, but at the moment, as you know, there is the COVID-19 pandemic, and we're currently in lockdown, so I just wanted to catch up on the news, which in the 1950s news would have been readily available, probably not so much on the TV, but it would have certainly have been on the radio, and obviously I don't have a radio, and now, so it was just easier for me to just put the TV on for like 10 minutes to watch the news. So that is it really. That's pretty much where we're up to. I had a bath, I've washed my hair. What I'm going to do now is get the tats out, and then I'm going to set it, put it in a turban. I haven't actually got like any like vintage style nightwear, so I'm just Hogwarts. So I'm just gonna set my hair, put it in a turban, which this should have been done last night. I have literally had the worst 24 hours with Jamie. I know they said it'll get worse before it gets better, but please pray it just starts getting better soon, because this is getting ridiculous. Okay, so all the tiny naughty is out. Hope you can see everything okay. I have actually got the bedroom light off, and I'm just using a ring light because the bedroom light was reflecting onto the phone. So I haven't got any setting lotion, so I'm just going to use some Maintain, which is like a humidity control like styling lotion. It's been a while since I've set my hair, and it's rather longer than I thought it was, so this might be a challenge. I am using quite large sections because I actually do have quite fine hair, because it's really long as well. It's going to end up being really tight curls, or too tight otherwise if I don't do it in the big sections. So I'm just gonna keep rolling it down. Use a pen, not the neatest. Okay, so I've just done some loose curls at the front. I need to go and sort him out. Good morning. So I left off the video. So Jamie was having a little bit of a meltdown. We had like the worst day ever on Monday. It's now Wednesday morning. I haven't even looked at any of the footage of the videos that I recorded. My mind was probably not in the best place to have actually done this video, but it's done anyway. I finished pretty much everything that I needed to do on the list. The only thing I didn't do was to set up the table for breakfast the following day, and I didn't put the tea dishes away, because I was having to give Jamie my full attention. The internet did go back on around about 9 o'clock-ish. Jamie came, sat on the bed with me, and we played checkers and Jenga on his phone, which was really, really nice. It gave us a little bit of bonding time, and then we ended up watching a movie on Netflix, and he finally fell asleep. So that was my day in the life of a 1950s housewife with an autistic ADHD child. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I kind of enjoyed making it. Next time I am going to do it so much better. I'm going to be so much more prepared mentally. Obviously I've got a lot of work to do with Jamie with his ADHD and his autism, but that is another story. I'm also going through a breakup at the moment, so my own mental health isn't at the best, and obviously it has affected Jamie more than he is letting me know, because the breakdowns and the meltdowns have been a lot more. I'm going to leave it there for the day in the life of a 1950s housewife. If you enjoyed it, please give me a thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe. I have got so much more coming. We have got going to be a day in the life of a wartime housewife. We've got some 1940s wartime recipes that I want to share with you, and I'm going to do the 1950s housewife for maybe over 2 days, maybe see if I can do a week at some point. So all that is still yet to come. And plus, don't forget, once lockdown's finished, we're going to be having some spooky fun, because I am a paranormal investigator, so that should be fun. So thank you for joining me.